In this video, we're going to take a look at Foxtec's new DMAT Web Online Data Access Service. First, while on the internet, we're going to navigate to the Foxtec Online Data Server and enter the login information provided by Foxtec. In this video, we will log in as guest. Now that we're logged on, you can see two information panels. The panel on the left shows the various sites configured for guests to view on DMAT Web. In this example, guest has two Foxtec installations, one to monitor pipeline strain in a high consequence area, and the other to monitor internal corrosion on a buried pipeline. Let's take a look at the FT installation. Here we can see diagnostic system status information and analyze pipeline bending data showing both axial and bending pipeline strain. By clicking on the graphs, we can view current pipeline strain data at the two monitored locations. In this case, all strain values are relatively low and no seasonal trends are observed. By quickly examining this graph, the operator knows overall there is no significant risk due to ground movement in this area. If activity were observed, a new curve would be displayed showing in what direction the pipeline was moving. Let's now move on to the pinpoint installation. In this case, there are four information sections. The first section presents a summary of project data. This project shows some of the site photos that were included in the installation report. In this case, existing defects identified during an ILI are being closely monitored. By clicking on the graph below, we can also quickly examine pipeline surface temperature and the above ground temperature measured in the pinpoint instrumentation cabinet. Next, let's expand the corrosion data section. This contains the most important data. Data is presented in this section using four graphs. The first is a wall thickness versus time graph. Each colored curve in the graph represents a different location in the pinpoint sensor array, or sensor grid, located on the outside of the pipe. This graph shows the long-term internal corrosion trend. Of particular importance in this graph are the two light blue curves towards the bottom. These represent the wall loss of two internal pitting corrosion defects, 31 and 35% deep. All graphs are relatively flat and show no significant corrosion activity. But next, let's zoom in on this data and examine the accumulated wall loss. This graph shows the accumulated wall loss for each of the pin pairs within the monitoring area. Here we can see that while overall there is no significant internal corrosion, some activity has occurred in discrete bursts. Looking at the next graph, we can examine the rate of change of the accumulated wall loss, or in other words, the internal corrosion rate. The bursts of activity seen in this graph, while relatively small, could be linked back in time to corrosion mitigation efforts like cleaning pig runs or chemical inhibitor performance. The final graph in this project is a surface contour map, where different colors are used to represent different locations in the sensor pin array. Here we can see where the new activity shown in the previous graphs are physically located in the sensor pin array. In this case, activity can be seen near the 3 and 4 o'clock positions. In this case, this happens to correspond to a weld seam. The last feature we'll show you in this demo is the ability to retrieve archived reports. By clicking on the link on the left, DMAT Web users can access all historical reports issued by Foxtec for this particular project.